The courtroom doors swung open with a thud that echoed like a gunshot, and Brio Thompson stumbled out into the blinding New York sunlight, his father's words still ringing in his ears. "You're no son of mine." Just hours earlier, during the heated custody battle for his late brother's children, his dad had publicly disowned him for being gay, declaring he'd rather marry the widow himself to ensure a real man raised the family legacy. But as Brio clenched his fists, vowing silent revenge, he had no idea this betrayal would force him into a web of lies, love, and moral reckonings that could shatter everything he held dear. Brio paced the sidewalk outside the Manhattan family court, his tie loosened like a noose finally cut free. At 28, he'd built a life as a successful architect in Brooklyn, designing sleek high-rises that pierced the sky like his own ambitions. But today, those ambitions felt as fragile as glass. His brother, Mark, had died in a car accident 6 months ago, leaving behind his wife, Sarah, and their 2 kids, little Emma, 5, and baby Jack, barely 2. The will named Brio as guardian if anything happened to Sarah, a decision Mark had made in secret, trusting his younger brother's steady heart over their father's rigid conservatism. Now their father, Robert Thompson, a wealthy real estate mogul from upstate New York, had contested it all. In court, Robert's lawyer painted Brio as unfit, citing his lifestyle choices as a threat to the children's moral upbringing. "Mr. Thompson is openly homosexual," the lawyer had sneered, "living with a male partner. How can we entrust innocent lives to such instability?" The judge, an older woman with a stern gaze, had adjourned for deliberation, but not before Robert stood up, his face twisted in rage. "I won't let my bloodline end with a deviant," he'd shouted. "If Sarah agrees, I'll marry her myself. Give those kids a proper father figure." Brio's phone buzzed. It was his partner, Jamie, texting, "How'd it go? Coming home soon." Jamie, a 30-year-old high school teacher with kind eyes and a laugh that could melt steel, had been Brio's rock for 3 years. They met at a charity run in Central Park, bonding over shared dreams of a future together, maybe even adopting kids one day. But now, with this family war erupting, Brio felt the ground shifting. He typed back, "Disaster. Dad's gone nuclear. Need to think." He hailed a cab to Brooklyn, the city blurring past like his thoughts. Growing up in a strict Catholic household, Brio had hidden his sexuality for years, fearing exactly this rejection. Mark had been the golden child, straight, married, successful in finance, while Brio was the quiet artist, always second best. When Brio came out at 22, Robert cut him off financially, but Mark bridged the gap, offering quiet support. "Family's family," Mark had said. Now, with Mark gone, the chasm widened. Arriving home, Brio found Jamie in their cozy apartment, grading papers at the kitchen table. The space was warm, filled with bookshelves and Jamie's abstract paintings. A sanctuary from the world. "Babe, you look wrecked," Jamie said, pulling him into a hug. Brio buried his face in Jamie's shoulder, inhaling the familiar scent of coffee and cologne. "Dad wants to marry Sarah, to save the kids from me." Jamie's eyes widened. "That's insane. She's grieving. She wouldn't, right?" "I don't know. Sarah's always been traditional. She might see it as stability for the kids." Brio sank onto the couch, head in hands. The internal conflict tore at him. Fight for the guardianship and risk exposing his life to public scrutiny, or step back and let his father win, preserving some semblance of peace? But stepping back meant betraying Mark's trust and his own identity. That night, as they lay in bed, Jamie traced circles on Brio's back. "We'll figure this out. You're not alone." But Brio couldn't shake the doubt. Was loving Jamie worth losing his family? The question haunted him into sleepless hours. The next morning, Sarah called. "Brio, we need to talk. Your dad came over last night." Her voice trembled. Sarah, 32, with her sharp wit and fierce protectiveness, had been like a sister to Brio. But now, vulnerability laced her words. They met at a quiet cafe in Midtown, the kids at daycare. Robert proposed, she said bluntly, stirring her tea. Not romantically, more like a business deal. He says it'll keep the family intact, provide for us. And he mentioned your situation as a risk in court. Brio's stomach dropped. And you? What do you think? She sighed. I'm scared, Brio. The kids need stability. But Mark chose you for a reason. He believed in you. The conversation stretched, laden with unspoken fears. Sarah admitted the pressure from extended family, whispers of what's best for the children, echoing societal norms that viewed gay parents with suspicion. Brio argued his case. His stable job, loving relationship, commitment to family. But doubt crept in. Was he ready for parenthood amid the storm? Leaving the cafe, Brio felt a spark of determination. He couldn't let fear win. But as he walked, his phone rang again. Robert. Son, let's end this farce. Withdraw, and I'll forgive everything. No, Dad. This isn't about forgiveness. It's about what's right. Hanging up, Brio realized the battle lines were drawn. The cost? Potentially everything. Over the following weeks, tensions escalated. Robert's lawyers dug into Brio's life, subpoenaing records from his therapy sessions where he discussed coming-out struggles. Jamie faced harassment at work, anonymous calls questioning his influence on students. Society's undercurrents surfaced. Friends distanced themselves, fearing association with the scandal. One evening, after a particularly brutal deposition, Brio snapped at Jamie over dinner. Maybe Dad's right. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. Jamie's face fell. Don't say that. This is who we are. But the seed of doubt grew. Brio began questioning if fighting was selfish, putting his desires above the kids' needs. The internal war raged. Loyalty to self versus family expectations. Then, a turning point. Emma's birthday party at Sarah's house. Robert attended, charming the relatives, while Brio felt like an outsider. As Emma blew out candles, she ran to Brio, hugging him. Uncle Brio, when can we live with you and Uncle Jamie? The room froze. Robert's glare could cut glass. In that moment, Brio saw the stakes, not just legal but emotional. He had to fight, no matter the price. The deposition room in the law firm's high-rise felt like a pressure cooker, with fluorescent lights buzzing overhead and the air thick with accusation. Brio sat across from his father's attorney, a slick man named Harlan, who slid a folder across the table. Mr. Thompson, care to explain these emails from your ex-boyfriend? They paint a picture of instability, arguments, breakups. Is this the environment you'd subject children to? Brio's lawyer objected, but the damage was done. The emails, from a toxic relationship years ago, were dredged up to question his character. As he left, humiliation burned in his chest. Back home, Jamie waited with takeout Chinese, but Brio couldn't eat. They're twisting everything, he said, voice cracking. Making me look like a monster. Jamie pulled him close. You're not. This is their game. Don't let them win. Their relationship, once a haven, now felt strained under the spotlight. Jamie's school had received complaints from parents, hinting at inappropriate role models. He downplayed it, but Brio saw the tall, dark circles under Jamie's eyes, forced smiles. Meanwhile, Sarah wavered. At a family mediation session in a neutral office uptown, Robert laid out his plan. Marry Sarah in a civil ceremony, adopt the kids legally, provide financial security. It's practical, he argued. Brio, you're young, focused on your career and your personal life. Let me handle this. Sarah looked torn, glancing at Brio. I don't want to hurt anyone, she whispered later. But societal pressures mounted. Her conservative parents urged her to accept, fearing the stigma of gay guardians. Brio felt the weight of generations. His father's homophobia rooted in a 1950s upbringing, clashing with modern acceptance. Internally, Brio grappled with guilt. Was pursuing guardianship a selfish act, dragging everyone through mud? Or was it standing against injustice? He confided in a therapist, unpacking layers of rejection. My dad sees me as broken, he admitted. But fighting him means proving I'm not. The conflict spilled into his work. A major project deadline loomed, but distractions led to mistakes. His boss pulled him aside. Brio, get your head in the game, or we'll have issues. The ripple effects were clear. One wrong choice could cost his career. Then betrayal struck. Jamie came home late one night, face ashen. Your dad called the school board. Accused me of grooming students because I'm gay. Brio's blood boiled. This wasn't just about custody. It was personal warfare. Confronting Robert at his lavish estate outside the city, Brio stormed in. How dare you drag Jamie into this? Robert sipped scotch, unmoved. It's for the greater good. Those kids deserve normalcy. Normalcy? You mean your version, straight, married, repressed? Brio shot back. The argument escalated, unearthing old wounds. Robert's own father's abandonment, his fear of weakness. For a moment, vulnerability flickered in Robert's eyes, but pride won. Get out, he growled. Driving back, Brio realized the moral quandary. Continue fighting and risk destroying relationships, or concede and live with regret. He chose to push forward, hiring a private investigator to uncover Robert's skeletons, tax evasions, affairs. But using dirt felt wrong, staining his soul. Sarah, caught in the middle, faced her own demons. Over coffee, she confessed. Mark knew about you and supported it, but I'm scared of the judgment. Church, friends, school moms. Brio empathized. I get it, but hiding who I am won't make the kids happier. Their bond strengthened, but doubt lingered. As court reconvened, Harlan dropped a bomb. Photos of Brio and Jamie at a pride event, spun as radical activism. The judge frowned. Brio testified, voice steady. Love isn't a threat. It's what families need. But the words felt hollow amid the stares. Post-hearing, Jamie suggested a break. Not from us, from the fight. Is it worth it? Brio hesitated. The decision loomed. Sacrifice love for family or vice versa? Nights blurred into strategy sessions. Brio pored over legal briefs, while Jamie researched gay parenting success stories. Inspiration came from a support group, other LGBTQ families sharing triumphs over bias. You're not alone, a member said. Yet, escalation came when Robert convinced Sarah to testify against Brio. It's temporary, she texted apologetically. To end the pain. The betrayal cut deep. Brio confronted her. Mark trusted me. How could you? Tears flowed. I'm protecting them from this war. The mending seemed impossible. In the quiet, Brio reflected on choices. His coming out had cost family ties, but gained authenticity. Now this fight demanded more. Perhaps losing Jamie if the stress broke them. A pivotal moment. Emma's nightmare call. Uncle Brio, I miss you. Her innocence reignited his fire. He couldn't abandon them. The judge's gavel pounded like a heartbeat in the crowded courtroom, adjourning for another week as new evidence surfaced. Robert's financial incentives to witnesses. Brio exhaled sharply, but victory felt pyrrhic. Outside, reporters swarmed, thrusting microphones. Mr. Thompson, is this custody battle about money or morals? He pushed through, shielding his face, the media frenzy amplifying societal divides. Back in Brooklyn, Jamie packed a bag. I need space, he said quietly. This is consuming us. The words hit like a slap. Their relationship, built on mutual support, cracked under pressure. Brio begged, don't go. We can fix this. Jamie paused at the door. I love you, but loving you shouldn't mean losing myself. He left for a friend's couch, leaving Brio in echoing silence. The apartment felt hollow, mirroring his heart. Internal turmoil peaked. Had his fight for family destroyed his chosen one? Sarah called, guilt-ridden. I shouldn't have agreed to testify. Robert pressured me. Said it'd be quick. Her apology rang sincere, but trust frayed. They met in Central Park, kids playing nearby. Emma tugged Brio's hand. Why is Grandpa mad? Explaining prejudice to a child felt impossible. I want what's best, Sarah said. But society's not kind to different families. Brio nodded. Neither is hiding. They brainstormed alternatives, joint custody, but Robert's shadow loomed. Work suffered. Brio botched a presentation, earning a warning. Colleagues whispered. Family dramas distracting him. The professional cost mounted, forcing a choice. Scale back the fight or risk unemployment. Seeking solace, Brio attended a LGBTQ rights rally. Amid chants, he met Lucas, an activist lawyer offering pro bono help. Your story's bigger than custody. It's about equality. Inspired, Brio dove deeper, gathering affidavits from gay parents attesting to stable homes. But Robert countered viciously. A leaked story in a tabloid. Gay architects' scandalous past threatens orphans. Lies twisted facts, painting Brio as promiscuous. Social media exploded. Supportive comments mixed with hate. Keep kids safe from perverts. Jamie returned briefly, seeing the article. This is madness. End it. But Brio refused. If I quit, Dad wins, prejudice wins. Their argument escalated. What about us? Jamie yelled. You're choosing ghosts over the living. The words stung. Brio realized the ethical dilemma. Pursuing justice at what price? Damaging others for personal vindication? Reconciliation attempts with Robert failed. At a tense dinner, Robert admitted fears. I don't understand your world, but I won't let it ruin my grandkids. Brio pushed. Ruin? Love isn't ruin. A crack appeared. Robert's eyes softened, recalling Mark's support for Brio, but pride sealed it shut. Sarah's turning point. Discovering Robert's plan to relocate the kids upstate, away from her influence. He's controlling, she realized. Aligning with Brio, she withdrew her testimony. Court heated up. Brio's side presented experts on child psychology. Sexual orientation doesn't impact parenting. Robert's team rebutted with outdated studies, exposing bias. Post-session, Jamie texted, Proud of you. Miss you. Hope flickered. Yet damage lingered. Brio's therapy delved into trauma. Abandonment fears fueling overcompensation. You're fighting for validation, the therapist said. A shocking revelation. Mark's hidden letter, found in Sarah's attic. Brio, you're the heart of this family. Don't let Dad's fears dim your light. It bolstered Brio, but questioned. Had Mark foreseen this? As high tide approached, Brio faced a moral crossroads. Use the investigators' dirt on Robert. An old bribery scandal? Or win clean? He chose integrity, shredding the file. The price? Potential loss. Rain pounded the courthouse windows as the final arguments commenced. Tension electric in the air. Brio's lawyer summed up, This isn't about lifestyle. It's about love, capability, and a brother's dying wish. Robert's side fired back. Tradition matters. Stability for the children above all. The judge deliberated, leaving everyone in limbo. Brio waited in the hall, Jamie unexpectedly appearing. Couldn't stay away, he said, squeezing Brio's hand. Their reunion, tentative, sparked warmth amid chaos. Sarah joined, united front forming. Whatever happens, we're family. But Robert glared from afar, isolation evident. Verdict day dawned clear. The judge ruled. Guardianship to Brio with visitation for Robert. Prejudice has no place in this court, she declared. Cheers from supporters, but Robert stormed out. Victory tasted bittersweet. At home, Jamie unpacked. We made it, but scars remained, trust to rebuild. Robert's response. Cutting off contact, marrying a stranger instead, disowning Brio fully. The family fractured. Brio moved Sarah and kids to Brooklyn temporarily, easing transition. Emma adapted quickly, calling Jamie Uncle Jay. Jack's giggles filled the space. Yet, societal backlash persisted. School petitions against gay guardians surfaced, forcing advocacy. Brio spoke at panels, turning pain into purpose. Internal peace eluded. Nightmares of loss plagued him. Jamie noticed. "Talk to me. I wonder if I push too hard," Brio confessed. The moral weight, right choices causing hurt. Reconnection attempt. Brio visited Robert. "Dad, can we heal?" Robert softened slightly. "Maybe. Time." Progress inched forward. Sarah dated again, finding balance. As months passed, high points. Family vacations, kids thriving. Lows, anonymous threats, testing resilience. Jamie's proposal over dinner. "Marry me. Build our future." Brio accepted, ring symbolizing triumph. But doubts whispered. Was the fight worth the wreckage? The wedding venue in the Hudson Valley bloomed with spring flowers, but undercurrents of tension rippled through the guests. Brio stood at the altar, Jamie beside him, vows exchanged in tearful sincerity. "Through storms and sun," Brio promised. Absent. Robert, his empty seat a glaring void. Post-ceremony, Sarah toasted, "To new beginnings." The kids danced, innocent joy contrasting adult complexities. Honeymoon in California brought reflection. Beach walks, Brio admitted. "I regret the pain caused." Jamie reassured. "You stood for truth. That's courage." Back home, challenges mounted. A conservative group challenged the custody in appeals court, citing moral decay. Brio fought anew, draining resources. Work promotion came, but with caveats. Keep personal life quiet. The compromise chafed. Hiding again? Sarah's confession. "I almost chose Robert. Fear blinded me." Her growth mirrored Brio's. Robert's health scare. A heart attack prompted outreach. Hospital visit. "Son, I was wrong. Scared of change." Tears flowed. Forgiveness tentative, but seeds planted. Kids' questions arose. "Why did Grandpa hate you?" Explaining gently. "Sometimes people fear what they don't know." Societal shifts. Pride parades larger, laws evolving. But personal battles lingered. Jamie's job loss due to backlash forced relocation considerations. "Is New York worth it?" he asked. Brio weighed. Stay and fight or flee for peace. Chose advocacy, joining boards. A betrayal echo. An old friend leaked private emails, reigniting media storm. Trust shattered again. Healing through therapy, family sessions. Robert attended one, admitting biases rooted in his era. Breakthrough, Robert babysat, bonding with kids. "They're happy," he conceded. Yet moral ambiguities. Had Brio's aggression prolonged suffering, or accelerated change? Years blurred. The Brooklyn home now filled with laughter and routine. Emma, now 10, excelled in school. Jack, 7, showed artistic flair like Brio. Jamie taught nearby, their marriage solid amid trials. Robert, mellowed by age, visited often, sharing stories sans judgment. "I see now," he said one evening. "Love's love." Sarah remarried a kind man, co-parenting seamlessly. Brio's architecture firm specialized in inclusive designs, symbols of progress. But reflections haunted. The costs, strained relationships, lost privacy, emotional scars. At a family dinner, Emma asked, "Was it right to fight so hard?" Brio pondered. The journey taught. Choices ripple, right paths thorny. In quiet moments, he wondered, did the ends justify the means? Was forcing change through conflict the ethical path, or should compromise have prevailed to spare the pain?